did. We are back with a new topic today. I think is like perfect going off the weekend that Rachel and I had together. We both went to a festival, a homeopathic festival up on the sunny coast, and um, a big focus was around health. Oh, sorry, I'm getting over cold and still have the delicious phlegm. Um, and Rachel has a cold. So this is just ironic,
Yes.
the topic that we're going to be
We're
talking
talking about low tox. I know right now. I'm just like, wow.
Funny. Um, but yeah, the main focus of the festival really is around health and holistic living and in like so many different aspects. So we're like, this is so perfect to actually talk about this stuff because I know for me, but also for Rachel, low tox living has been such a huge part of my life, and neither of us like, grew up low tox. So it's
Yeah.
definitely been a journey. So we just wanted to like share our journeys and the things that we have because it also how I see it is like it's really based on your values and everybody I think at the beginning starts in different areas. Um, but yeah, we wanted to share our own journeys and maybe give some tips on like if you're wanting to start to switch to low tox things and don't know where to start, then this is a good one. And if you are on your low tox journey, then you'll probably pick up some extra things because I am deep in the rabbit hole now.
Yeah. Would you say you're like fully tox free, or would you say that you're like 90%?
I don't think you can ever be fully tox free.
Yeah.
Um, because like there's toxins in literally everything, like our furniture, um, like there's so many different things, and it takes so much effort, I think, to be fully tox free.
Yeah.
Um, and I also look at it at the fact that, stressing over these things can do more harm to you than the toxins sometimes. So,
Yeah. And
um, yeah, I'm definitely more low tox. I guess it depends in different areas. So there are specific areas where I am completely non-tox, but then there's other areas where I'm just like more lenient. I kind of see
yeah,
it as balance.
that's right. And I think that's the key message here today is balance. And if there's things that you can, if there's items you can remove easily or swap out for low tox products, I think that can help improve your overall health. But we can't avoid it. Like our environment that we walk into can be full of toxins. The person that walks past us could be wearing all these products that just, I know for me, it triggers like fragrance is a really big one that I'm going to bring in. Um, because I've always had a sensitive nose, and it's funny because I'm doing this today with a sensitive nose, but it's a head cold that's comes through. But if I smell the slightest bit of fragrance on someone, it could just be a cream. It doesn't have to be a perfume. It can send me sneezing. It's like my body has this reaction and wants to rid the toxin. Like it's so crazy when you dive deep into perfumes and fragrance or fragrance that is in lotions or all sorts of women's products. The key effects, it affects and disrupts our hormones, which is an obvious one, but it actually states that they are affecting reproductive fertility in everything. And that is just like one of the number one reasons I have taken that out of my daily routine and gone, okay, I want to clean up like the skincare that I put on my face. I want to clean up the deodorant. I don't wear the chemicalized perfumes anymore because the chemicals in each fragrance is undisclosed.
Mm, Yeah, it's just labeled as fragrance or
Yeah.
perfume. And I'm like, that doesn't let us know what's actually in it. And yeah, for me, I get really I get headaches when I smell fake fragrance.
Yeah.
Um, it's even in like laundry detergent as well.
Mm-hmm.
That is one of the worst ones because I remember this one time I went to a an op shop and I bought all these different clothes from the op shop and I had them sitting in the passenger seat and on the car home I like ride home I just like felt I felt like I was on a hot box. I was sweating. I was like I was like getting a headache because this fragrance from the detergent was just filling my car and I was like, oh my God, get me out of here. It was just like
Oh,
um so yeah, fragrance is definitely a big one.
yes,
Yeah.
definitely. And it's funny, my husband hasn't switched his deodorants. He's not at that point, and I keep encouraging him. And I was like looking into it as to what is in like his spray deodorant. And I feel like I need to educate him because he has no idea that it's like the metal, the gases that are in the spray
Hmm.
cans, obviously the fragrance, but also the aluminium and everything. You're putting in the heavy metals into your body as well. And I'm just like, "Ugh,
Yeah.
that's really crazy." And cleaning products. That is something I've switched out. What about you?
Yeah, so I would say what I really started with my journey was food. I started with food first just because of like all the things that were going on with my health and that's what
Yeah,
really kicked off my journey. Although I have also shared in the past how like I grew up reading labels
yeah,
of food and stuff because of my brother and his sensitivities. So um I would read labels, but you know, like when you're in your early 20s, you're kind of like, oh, whatever. I'm young and free, and I'm just gonna
yeah,
do whatever and eat whatever, and I'm gonna have Pop Tarts and all that kind of stuff. Um, so yeah, food was the first thing, and then it was cleaning products
yeah,
because again, it's that fragrance. Like it's the smells that will really set me off, and it still gives me headaches when I like you know what those toilet cleaners, and you like go
yeah,
into a toilet and you can smell it, and it's like, whoo, yeah,
yeah, definitely.
yeah.
So food
So
is, yeah, is probably the best. I agree. Like I probably started the food journey first. Didn't really know that it was low tox that I was doing. It was just like a physical thing. But when we were at the festival this weekend, we they were talking a lot about the glyphosate, which is a chemical in Roundup, which is used on so many products, everyday products that a lot of us consume and think are good for us, like wheat, corn, you know, I think, do they even use it on veggies or is it mainly wheat and grains? I think it's,
I think it's mainly wheat and grains. Um, but then it's Roundup, right? So people use it as a weed killer. So you're not only just getting it from when you're purchasing a loaf of bread or your oats or whatever, you're also like inhaling it when you're out on the streets
yeah,
or, you know, if you're using Roundup yourself, like it's, and then it sinks into the soil and then it's like, um, you know, if farms are using glyphosate or Roundup as a weed killer, but they might not be spraying it around the produce, but it sinks into the soil, and when it rains, it spreads. So it
yeah.
does get into that produce. So it's literally everywhere, and it's actually terrifying what they were saying at the festival, right? Like the levels of um glyphosate, because I think you can get tested now to see what the levels are in your body. It's
Oh,
insane.
wow.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, I must have missed that bit. I think too, I thought, how many people have gone gluten free, right? Because they think that wheat is a problem for their stomach. But what if the problem is just that it's not organic and that it's chemically affected by this glyphosate or Roundup. And that's what people are reacting to, not necessarily the gluten itself. Because I know I've made a personal choice of not having gluten in my diet for a lot of years, but then I'll let myself have a treat now and then. But when I was away on holiday, it was really good quality, like organic sourdoughs and things I was eating. And I was like, oh, I'm not getting any tummy problems. I'm feeling great. And then when you look into it, it's like, well, that's organic. And that's a whole rabbit hole as well. Like,
Yeah, well, I think Australia's got some of the worst wheats because Europe has higher standards when it comes to what they can and can't use in food, in cosmetics, in all that kind of stuff, right? Like, I think Europe is the highest standard. Um, but there's so many people I speak to that they'll go to overseas, like go to Europe and
yeah,
have just normal breads, pastas, pastries, and not have any issues at all because their wheat is just wheat. It's not highly processed. It doesn't have all of these fillers and all this shit in it that we have. And so we're not reacting to it. So I absolutely agree. Like, yes, obviously there are people that are celiac, but there's so many people that are intolerant to gluten now, and I'm one of them. I get like intolerant to it, and I think it's just the quality of our wheat.
and it's something to do with climate here or our soils. I think I read this once. Is like naturally wheat doesn't grow here in
Yeah,
Queensland anyway.
I would. Yeah,
Makes sense.
I wouldn't be surprised. Yeah, it's it's a crazy one, and I guess like what makes us so passionate about talking about low tox, obviously our own journeys, but we're seeing it more and more often that like, and they talked about this at the festival that what was it like 20, 30 years ago, chronic illness was at 5%. 5% of the population documented to have chronic illness. Now it's like 80% of the population.
Yeah,
And yes, we can say that it's better detection and people are identifying it better, but you can't just put it to that, like
yeah,
you hear it all the time now. It's the fact that people always like are talking about how sick they are, how they don't have energy, how they've got brain fog, how they've got all these the amount of people that have gut issues is
yeah.
insane. And I know as a child, like that just never would happen, but now it's like more and more kids are even starting to have these issues. And I just look at it that, we are the most advanced when it comes to medicine and health and research, but we are also the sickest that we have ever been. Make that
Yeah,
make sense.
yeah.
It's insane.
And it's a worry. Um, I don't know about you, but I just sometimes I feel like I don't know, like when you go to eat something out or you just, it's like you lose, I've lost trust in a lot of the food systems,
Yeah.
like, and the companies and all this that have provided our food for years. But I think that you only realize this when you reach a point in your life of damage
Mm.
control, like your illness, you're not 100%, you're struggling with something. I know in my journey, fertility has been the biggest topic linked to my health, and you know, it can become this process of anxiousness of what can I eat? Is this going to affect me? Is this, and whilst I don't have these major like stomach reactions or things that other people have, sensitivities, I get allergies, I get like this depletion of energy, I get this reaction of where obviously my body isn't at this homeostasis where it can bring a child in and sit there, So I feel like that has been a big journey. And one of the things I wanted to bring up today, which was highly regarded to me
I'm so
by
sorry for talking about this.
all the doctors, all the specialists, IVF doctors, GPs, almost everyone in the traditional health system is, and if you're watching on YouTube, I'm showing it, is Elevate.
Mm.
Now, okay, if you've taken Elevate and you will find that's great. It might work for some people, but for me, I actually got physical symptoms of not feeling well on this. Stomach irritations, it really upset me. And I remember just going, why is this not right? Like, why? So when you look into the ingredients individually and you research them, they're synthetic forms of vitamins. So for someone that has a methylation issue, which is something I have, it means that I can't actually convert the folic acid and it's doing nothing to me. Like the quality of those vitamins it's not natural. It's going to cause chaos in your body. And after some further research, it's got inadequate levels in the sense that it's really high in iron but low in zinc and the balance isn't right. So really having too much iron can be detrimental to women. There's so much research now about women being pumped full of iron, and if your iron is just, it's got to go somewhere in your body, right? And it's storing in organs. There's women now more than ever are having hemorrhaging after birth, bleeding out, all this. Like the research is starting to point towards a buildup of too much iron from supplements that women are taking because they're told they've got low iron, but then the body's storing it into all these organs and then it has to come out somehow. It's crazy that this is like a product that has been created by Big Pharma, the same company that actually provides all the contraceptive pill, the cancer medication, and the Roundup. And that's what the big dive that I went down when I researched Elevate. I was like, okay, this has effects. This is meant to help with fertility, yet that same company is the one producing Roundup, who are creating all these issues in fertility. And it blows your mind. If you haven't dove down this rabbit hole, you need to. Like and I'm no expert on this,
Yeah.
but I think just doing your own education around it, and we've trusted so long in people who are professionals and their word, but I think we really need to do our own research now. What do you think? Because
Absolutely agree. This is such a huge topic. Like, we're going deep. We've just opened a can of worms. Um, because it's so deep with our food system, just like literally everything. It is a vicious cycle. When you just need to follow the money. When you follow the money, you actually will see where um where our food comes from, how it's processed. And it's like this, oh, let's create a problem so that then we can also create the solution as well, right? Like it's such a big thing.
yes,
Like, perfect example is, Pfizer and uh, the heart issues that people are getting from things that they've created, and then like, oh well, we've actually got the solution for that as well. We actually have heart medication for that. Like, and that one is a very clear cycle because they created medication that's got symptoms, and then they've created another medication to help with those symptoms. But there's also such huge companies that own so many different things. Like, I can't remember what the company is called that actually owns Roundup, but yeah, they also own food companies as well.
Bayer.
Um,
I think it's
that,
Bayer.
Yes, Bayer.
That's
Yep.
who
So
make Elevate. Little
yes,
label there.
yes,
Absolutely.
that's it. Yeah. So Bayer, they make Roundup. They also make a whole heap of different cereals, I think they own. So it's this vicious cycle of, hey, we've got this Roundup. It's, you know, poisoning our food, but we also own the food as well. And then we've got all of these supplements and stuff, medications that they've got as well for all of the to treat all of the things that we are getting from eating their food. It's just such a massive cycle. And I think that there are a lot of people are saying, oh, well, you don't have a science degree, you're not a doctor. What gives you the right to actually talk about this stuff? And I think that's just absolute bullshit. Um, we need to know what we are putting in our bodies and what we're putting on our bodies. That is what makes us an empowered, reconnected woman when we
Yeah.
know what we are doing for ourselves and for our family. And we don't need a medical degree or a science degree to figure this stuff out. It's written so plainly if you like actually have a look at and just even turn over the packet of whatever it is that you're using and seeing if you can't pronounce what these ingredients are, then, or if you're looking at a packet of food and it's got like 50 different ingredients, that's a red flag. Like
Yeah.
it's and I think this is the whole thing is like the medical industry and so many different industries, and I think people are just completely brainwashed as well to believe that we can't trust ourselves and we can't trust the research and we need to have some kind of degree or PhD in order to talk about stuff or to even make decisions. But that's just gaslighting when
And
we
even
actually
that's
know.
controlled, you know?
Yeah, yeah, absolutely. Like deep down, we know what's right for us, and if something doesn't feel right, then it's probably not right.
Yeah. Yeah, that was probably the biggest wake up call for me, and just realizing that they also did the IVF medication as well. So it was like this big full vicious circle of my life where I've had issues from contraceptive pill to, food and gut issues to like fertility issues to then being put on Elevate and the IVF medication and going, oh, all these people, this person, oh, sorry, this company is like the common link between all this shit. It's just like, it is insane. But I actually have been educating some clients of mine when we go grocery shopping about looking at food packets and what ingredients are in everything. And one of the things that amazed me, because I don't buy some of the food, I guess, that or I haven't for a long time, that he was looking at. But the awareness he has now is amazing. Some things have silicon in them.
Yeah.
Some food. Like just a seasoning to put on your chicken or whatever is got silicon in it. Why? Why does silicon need to be in there? Like,
Yeah.
it's
Yeah.
crazy.
It's actually insane the types of ingredients that they have in food, and we wonder why we have such a sick population when there's so much crap in the ingredients. When it's honestly just going back to the basics. Like if you get overwhelmed with, because it's so easy to get so overwhelmed by all the information out there and where do I start when it comes to being low tox? Just go back to basics. Like um I personally believe that starting with what you put in your body is the most important. Um, so our food, because we need to nourish our bodies and be able to get the nutrients from our food. And if we're just feeding our bodies full of crap, then it's going to cause so many issues. Um, so yeah, just starting to read the labels. Actually, there's a really good app that I started using back when like 'cause it's so overwhelming to look at labels as well, like because there are
Yeah.
lots of there are ingredients that we may have never heard of before that are still good ingredients, especially when it comes
Yeah.
to like cosmetics and stuff. Food not so much. Like we should be able to know and like what the food is by reading the labels. Um, the app is called Yuki, Yuki, and it's like the little logo is a carrot. Um,
Oh,
that is such a good app to use because you can literally go to the supermarket and scan the barcode of the product, and it will give you a rating of how good it is.
wow.
So you
Okay.
don't
I
have
might
to
use that.
like, it's so good. And especially if you don't have the time, if you're really busy and you find it really overwhelming to look at like labels and stuff, um, it's a really good starting point because it gives you a rating of like this is very bad or this is good or excellent. I will say that it doesn't pick up on some things, so it doesn't pick up on seed oils,
Yeah.
um, and and a few other things, but it's a really good starting point, um, to be like, oh, this is actually not as good as I thought it would be because marketing is really smart and they make it look like it is healthy and clean when it's not. And that's, I think, the biggest thing that I know I got caught up in when I started was like, it's called greenwashing, where they will make something look healthy or natural when it actually isn't, because there's no regulation when it comes to you saying it's a natural product. I think they only need to have like a certain percentage of a natural ingredient in order for them to be able to call it natural. And they can chuck like a whole heap of other stuff in there. Um, so that's where Yuki was really good. Um, like for example, cleaning products. I know there are some brands where they've got like green leaves or they've got the planet on it, and those um images we see as like nature and natural, we automatically
Yeah.
think, oh, okay, well that's low toxin good for me. But then you turn it over and you're like, oh, actually no, this is not as good as I thought it would be.
Yeah.
And that's what I would say, like, really be careful about. Like, Sukin is such a great example, where they will say, no, no this, no that, no fragrance, blah, 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 blah. And don't get me wrong, it's definitely a better option than what's out there, but it's not like the first class when it comes to using low or no tox in
Yeah.
our products. Yeah.
Yeah. Yes. Interestingly, I did already touch on this, but when I did some research into aluminium compounds and parabens, which are found in like a lot of skincare and deodorants, it it does disrupt your endocrine system and can have an accumulation effect in the organs. So toxins get stored in organs. So when we have an issue with an organ, or a lot of women these days have thyroid imbalance. And I'm like, that's gotta be linked to fertility and hormones and all that sort of stuff, like 100%.
So going back to the elevate, so when I went to my doctor, because I was very much aware, I was like so deep down the rabbit hole of low tox and all of those things. Um, and this is the thing, like I've gone so deep now that, and I'm learning. I feel like I'm learning more and more every day, and it's like, how much can I take? You can go so deep with this. But one thing that she recommended Elevate to me, and I guess like I was like, oh, okay, thanks. Um, but no thanks.
Yeah.
But what I chose to do instead was um so the prenatal that I took and I still take is foraged mother's blend. It is just pure food ingredients. So it's all the nutrition is just from um uh organically sourced foods. Um and it's got folate in it instead of folinic acid, which is the natural form, so that our bodies can
Yeah.
actually absorb it. It's got beef liver and a whole heap of things, and I still take it now because it it's just like a supplementation that you can take to just
Yeah.
support you and your body and to make sure you're getting enough nutrition. But there's quite a lot of better options out there these days, which is so good. And I think it just comes down to education. And knowing that synthetic things is always going to be harder for our bodies, right? Like with
Yeah.
any, it's going to be harder for our bodies to absorb. It's going to be harder for our bodies to um, process. So, looking for more natural forms of food. So, just thinking of like, what can we grow? What can we catch? That's like what we want to kind of focus on.
Yeah.
Um, and it was the same when I had lower iron levels as well. Like iron, because I remember us having this conversation about like we were talking about the hemorrhaging and stuff. It's like, oh my God, I didn't know that this was a thing. Um, but it makes so much sense. And so then, of course, I went down the rabbit hole of supplementation for iron, and because you know, have all these issues of then constipation and all that kind of stuff that can happen when you take iron tablets because our bodies can't process it very well. So that's why we get those symptoms. Um, and so looking at more bioavailable ingredients, which means bio just, I mean, I don't know terminology, but it basically just means it's natural, right? So
Yeah.
whether it's iron from vegetables or iron from beef liver. Um, so yeah, it's just,
It's a hard one because don't you feel like in some respects, I think to myself, we should just be able to get adequate vitamins and minerals from our food, right? And we shouldn't need to supplement. Like there's this whole market of all these products everywhere that we need to fork out for to get. But the problem is the majority of our food is lacking in those vitamins and minerals, aren't they? So then we're having to supplement and we're having to
yeah,
pay extra. And that's sort of what they were touching on, these farmers that were talking on the weekend about having to spend more for good quality food or supplements or whatever, but having to spend less later for your health in hospitals or for procedures and things like that, you know.
yeah. So what was the saying? He said, pay the farmer now or pay big pharma later. And I
Yes.
thought that was just such a good quote
Yeah.
because it's so, so true. Like, I know we can make all of the excuses of, I don't have the time or I don't have the money. And yes, I know like the way that the economy is right now, there are so many people struggling, and the cost of living is just ridiculous. And at the same time, it's all about priorities.
Yes.
And we prioritize our health because at the end of the day, my belief is that if you don't have your health, you don't have anything. Like your health
Yeah.
is your number one, like I guess it's our number one priority. And if you're not healthy, then you're in survival mode. You can't be your most reconnected, empowered person if you want to get down that route. But
Yeah.
health is just so, so, so important. If you don't have health, you don't have anything. So, um, like, yes, but then at the same time, like, we've managed to find spray-free produce at the markets for the same price of what you would pay, or even cheaper than what you would pay at the local like grocery stores.
Yeah.
So, I mean, if you're going to Coles and Woolies and getting organic vegetables, then yeah, it's going to cost you like your firstborn child.
Yeah.
But if you go to the markets, then you're probably going to find stuff that is affordable or maybe the same price, or maybe it might be a little bit more, but
Yeah.
like that's what we prioritize, and then we just don't spend our money in other areas.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's about thinking outside the box, isn't it? We're so used to convenience, and what we know, and we we're all just getting sicker and sicker, and we can't just keep going down that route of, oh, it's convenient, or it's what everyone else is doing. It's like, no, we need to wake up. We need to look at this. We need to research everything, and we need to make up our own minds instead of being told by everyone else what we should be doing. I think it's just we need to be empowered, and that's what this is all about today, is just sharing some info we've learned on our travels, and what's helped us.
Yeah,
Because
because I actually, when I fell pregnant with Grayson, like I'd already been doing the low tox food. Like we're very conscious of what we put in our bodies. And of course, like, I'll go and get McDonald's. I'll, go and treat ourselves with different types of foods because it's all about balance. And the majority of the time we're eating high quality, nutrient rich foods. Um, and so I was doing that, I was very conscious of the products that I was putting on my skin. That's something that I am absolutely non-tox, is skincare and makeup, because our pores just absorb everything and then it goes into our bloodstream. And the same with like cleaning products, that's very much a non-tox thing. But so I was like, you know what? I've got it down pat. I'm all good. And then you kind of like learn more and more. And it's just like, this is where the rabbit hole can just be so deep. And this is where it can be really overwhelming when you start to do the research, because there is so much out there, is like our clothing. And realizing that our clothing is not the greatest for us either. So what really started with it was that I was looking for maternity bras, and there at the beginning there was just no great options of non-tox maternity bras, because I was like, well, this piece of fabric is up against my skin and then my child's mouth is going there. So of course I want it to be non-tox, because then he's going to be absorbing that, right? And so then I went down this rabbit hole of like the different fabrics and how polyester is just so bad for us because it's literally just plastic. And again, like how companies can greenwash things to make it sound better than what it actually is. And a big thing right now is recycled polyester or recycled plastics, and which sounds amazing for the environment, but it also means that we're wearing plastic. And that's just like a no-no for me, because one, obviously, it's hot. We can't breathe. We sweat in it and then we smell and we stink. So if you're wearing these kind of clothes and you're wondering why you're so hot and you're stinking, it's because it's literally you're wearing a plastic bag. And then also when we sweat, our pores are open, so it's absorbing whatever that is in that fabric. So I just went down this massive rabbit hole around fabrics, and I always thought, oh well, bamboo is such a better option, but actually it's not, because of the process that bamboo goes through in order for it to be turned into a fabric to be soft enough is uses like such a huge amount of chemicals. So I've literally just gone back to like natural fibers, and I did a huge clear out of my wardrobe and got rid of a whole heap of like polyester stuff, especially underwear. Because I was like, I want to start with things that are in closest contact to my body. Underwear is where I started. And so like linen, cotton, those are the types of fabrics that one makes us just feel really good. And there's this whole thing about our vibration as well, right? Like if you want to get into the business of it, like natural fibers has a higher vibration than like synthetic fibers. But there's all these different certifications as well. So GOTS certified is the highest standard that you can get for clothing. because cotton is actually also highly sprayed with pesticides.
Oh,
So, yes, you can get cotton, but you know, it might not be the greatest one. So I always look for like GOTS, GOTS. Like Target has quite a lot. I see Bonds like they have them like shirts and stuff. So I've
and
been
even
really
Big
that's like
W these days too.
pardon.
Big W as well has some of,
Yes.
yeah.
Yes. And it's so good because they a lot of these big stores have a lot of baby products that have got certified, which is
Yes.
amazing because that's all I ever want for him is just like he's sitting up and he's falling asleep sitting up. Bless.
Oh,
Um, so yeah, that's the phase that I'm in at the moment is clothing and just cleaning it all out. And all I'm doing, because it can be really expensive, is just when I need to rebuy something, I just buy a better version of it. I think that's
yes.
just the easiest way to do it so you don't get overwhelmed. It's like, okay, I need a new cleaning product or a new like
Yeah.
all-purpose spray. Well, instead of buying the one that I always get, let me get the non-tox version.
Yeah. That's good. And what
Yeah.
I was going to ask when we were talking about skincare and things, why don't we share some of the products we use in our daily routine to
Yeah.
give people an idea of what we. So, what do you use on your face and your usual products, everyday products?
Yeah. So the brands that I use are Saya, Saya. It's an Australian company. I really like their products. Antipodes was one that I used to use as well. Um, it's a New Zealand company and they have some really good products.
Yeah.
I know a really like higher end one is Mukti. That's a really popular
Yeah.
organic skincare one that I've been eyeing off.
Oh,
Um, Deodorants, I like Woohoo, and Moogoo deodorants. And then Rachel and I both found this natural deodorant at the festival that we were at over the weekend called Natural Art Form.
yes.
So we're both trialing that one out. That's a small business.
That's really
Um,
good because it's actually like a lotion rather than like a thick sort of like you know how some of the no pongs are like a thick waxy sort of finish and it can be like I found that it gets clogged in my sink when I wash my hands and I've been getting a build up and so this one is so light and it actually smells really good for like hours and hours.
mm,
It's
mm,
good.
yeah. So I like those ingredients. For makeup, I was using Nude by Nature, but the research that I've done, it's not as amazing as it could be. It's still a better option. Um, so now I'm looking at Eye of Horus or Inika or 100% Pure. Those
Yeah.
are a few brands that I'm looking at. Especially with Black Friday sales coming up and eyeing off a few things.
Yeah.
Hair products. I am currently trialing JS Health.
Okay.
I've heard some great things about them because I've tried like natural ones before, and you know they can just make your hair feel so like dry
Dry.
and
Yes.
brassy.
Yeah.
So I'm liking that one so far. I've also heard a Bit Hippy is pretty good.
Yeah.
Um, and that's an Aussie brand. So like I do really in like supporting Australian businesses.
Yeah.
Um, yeah, what about you?
I just found a really good skincare which I'm loving, which is it's ROHR Remedy. So ROHR Remedy, I don't know how to pronounce it, but
Okay.
it's actually an indigenous skincare range that's created in Trinity Beach up near Cairns. And they use all these Australian bush medicine plants to make their skincare. Yeah, so I found it when I was in Tasmania at this natural sort of beauty. massage day spa place, and this lady was telling me all about it, and she had all the testers, and I was in love. So yeah, it's not expensive either. I don't find. I think it's pretty good value for money. So if anyone wants to try that, I'm loving it. It's actually really good. But I tried Emma Lewisham, which is very expensive. So that is a New Zealand brand, and that is low tox, but it's got all the science to help with like aging. And I did like that, really like it, but it's just, yeah, I can't justify the money at this point. It's your price point's like up over 130 to 150 per thing. So that's just, yeah. I treated myself for my birthday with some money last year, but then when something runs out, I'm like, oh, I just don't want to spend that much. The tight ass in me comes out.
Sales.
Yeah. I've never seen it on sale actually, ever. It's full
Yeah.
price, but it's very, very popular. So that's another one if people like high-end sort of stuff. Um, I found shampoo really hard because I'm blonde and I'm not naturally blonde. So if I don't use a purple shampoo, it goes brassy and quite yellow. So I really tried so many shampoos that were purple, and this is the most low tox I could find. It didn't have as much alcohol and chemicals in it, and it's Davroe, which is it doesn't give me a headache. Put it this way, all the other ones would give me a headache. So
Yep.
this is the best one I've found if you're blonde and you need to still use a purple shampoo. But I've tried all sorts of like real natural ones and just makes me go yellow.
I've
So,
also heard Everescent is another really good low tox hair brand.
okay.
Um, and a Bit Hippy actually has a blonde one. I think they have a blonde one. So I'm
Really?
really intrigued for
Maybe
them.
I should try it.
I've just bought their hair growth serum. It's a new
Okay.
product. So they didn't have too many reviews on it, but it was like $20. So I was like, I'm just gonna try it because, postpartum hair loss is has
Um,
begun. So I'm gonna trial that and see what it's like. Um, but yeah, like hair care was actually one that I struggled with for such a long time because there are so many products out there that they're just bad.
yeah.
They're
Yeah.
just they don't do anything for you.
Yeah. And my hairdresser is really like into low tox as much as possible. So I know the stuff she puts, like even when I get my hair dyed, it doesn't burn like all the other products. So whatever she uses, and she stocks this Davroe shampoo and conditioner as well. So I'm like, okay, well, this is what I'm with at the moment. But hey, I'm open to trying those. Makeup I found really hard. I think I've tried a few. I've not been sacked. I try not to wear a lot of makeup, but there is uh mascara I found called Tower 28, and that's apparently really low tox. Well, out of Mecca, it's one of their most low tox brands I recommend. So it's a really good, it's not that expensive, and I've been using that, and I haven't had any issues with my eyes because I have eye sensitivity. Um, and yeah, that's pretty much it. That's all I can recommend at this point. I use natural oils for like perfume as
Yeah.
well. Like, yeah, there's some really good ones from the health shops. I just make sure they're organic and yeah.
Yeah. I just use essential oils for perfumes. I've actually for ages I'm just like super lazy and can't be bothered by looking at different blends and stuff. So I just use Rose. I use the doTERRA Rose roller.
Oh,
I mean
nice.
Rose I know is like really like it's a luxury oil. Um but it smells so good. So I just roll that as my perfume.
Nice. I love rose. It's beautiful.
Yeah. Yeah, it is really
Beautiful
nice.
smell. And it's good for feminine energy, rose.
Yeah, and I've heard that it is of the highest vibration when it comes to all the different oils.
Is it?
Mm,
Oh, I might have to try some.
yeah. So quite like that. Toothpaste is another one. So, um, we don't use fluoride. We use a like ingredient is called I'm gonna butcher how to pronounce this. Hydroxyapatite or apatite is the natural form of fluoride. Because I used to get sensitive teeth and I would have to use Sensodyne, even though I would use it begrudgingly. And then I found out about this ingredient. And so there's a few brands that actually have it. So the Moogoo toothpaste has it,
Oh,
and Grant's has it. There's one type of
yeah, I've tried
Grant's
grants.
toothpaste. So it's the light blue Grant's label that's got it.
Okay.
And I've noticed such a huge difference with sensitivity since using those two toothpastes, and I really like them. Um, Cleaning products, we use EcoStore.
Yeah.
That's really good. You can just pick it up from Woolworths, Coles, Chemist Warehouse.
Yeah.
So they're like pretty affordable, those things.
Yeah.
And then what else have I been trialing? Oh, I recently, because like hairspray was another thing, like the smell of hairspray, and
Yes.
obviously aerosol as well. Like, um,
Yeah.
so Noosa Basics sea salt spray, I am loving.
Oh, I remember you telling me you were trying that. Yeah, it's
I
great.
love it. It is so good because not only does it, like, obviously it's not going to stick as well as like a extra hard hold spray, like hairspray, but I don't need that. Um, but it works really well as like a hairspray and also as a dry shampoo. I have been using it for like when my hair needs like a bit of a wash. I just
Yeah.
spray a little bit in my roots, get the blow dryer, dry it, and then I get so much volume. And I like it gives you yeah, that beachy kind of vibe.
Yeah.
So I very much like that because yeah, the dry shampoos um just aren't the greatest for me. I actually make my own like dry shampoo just with corn flour and cacao.
Oh, cool.
But sometimes that can just be a little bit heavy and well it works, but then I don't get the volume. So I've been using the sea salt spray and I love it.
That's great.
Yeah. Yeah. I think
I use a
that's
lot of the similar cleaning products, to be honest. I like
yeah.
any or Bositos. I've been using some of their stuff. I think for washing liquid, it's all eucalyptus. Have you heard of it? Yeah, it's really nice. Everything smells like eucalyptus. And that's sort of what I've been using. I pretty much use eucalyptus everywhere, actually. Or I have like a spray, and I think it's the same brand you just mentioned, for the kitchen.
Yeah.
Eucalyptus, and then my floor cleaner is just all natural, and it's basically eucalyptus and vinegar and stuff. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. And vinegar and bicarb soda works wonders for so many things.
Yeah, I was just gonna say, just use that for everything.
Yeah, so so good. One thing we haven't mentioned is water.
Yes, I was thinking
Please,
that.
please, please be drinking filtered water. Like, I feel like that is the bare minimum when it comes to just anything. Honestly, I just I think about what is actually in our tap water, and it's disgusting. Like, if you think of the pipes that our water is coming through and how old they are and the amount of gunk and rust, like if we don't use a filter, then we are the filter. So,
Yeah.
absolutely need to be filtering out your water. Like a bare minimum, like a Brita water jug, if
Yeah.
that's all you can commit to right now. But you'll just notice such a huge difference.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I agree. Water, you can taste the metal in unfiltered water. I can. I can just go,
Taste the
oh,
dirt. I can taste the dirt
yeah,
in the water. It's gross.
yeah,
So yeah, it's That's so
And it's full of fluoride, so it's going to kill our brain. Let's be real. Too much fluoride, not good for the brain.
Well,
Not it.
there's so many discussions I'm seeing on Facebook now about fluoride, and I think the Gympie Council have voted for it to be taken out of their water system.
They
And
have.
it's so interesting reading the comments of what people like were saying about this, and there were so many people like, oh, I hope they've got good dentists up there. But the thing is like fluoride, consuming it has never actually helped us. Topically on our teeth, potentially, yes. Well, yes, it does help, but there are obviously cleaner, better options. But
Yeah,
actually drinking it does jack shit to us.
crazy.
Yeah.
And
So
it's good for meditation. It gives you clarity in your third eye, pineal gland, or whatever, apparently. If you have fluoride, it affects that.
yeah, it calcifies your pineal gland.
Mm.
Mm.
Well, extra tip. But hey, I like that we've shared everything we have today because I wish I had someone list some products or give me some direction as to where to start. And yeah, if you are a sensitive person too, a lot of these products are really good just for sensitive. If you're sensitive, it's showing that you're sensitive to chemicals and things, and you should be more low tox anyway, I feel.
Yeah.
Yeah.
There is actually, and I think this is going to be so, so helpful. I use it as a resource now because I just can't be bothered researching about all the different ingredients in especially cosmetics
Yeah.
and skincare. It's an Aussie company called Clean Nectarine.
Okay.
So the lady who owns it, she used to own Nourished Life, and she
Oh,
sold Nourished Life and sold it to this bigger company, and she sold it saying to them, do not list Sukin on your like website. And they were like, yep, sure, whatever. Well, and then they just decided to do it. So she said it was her biggest mistake selling Nourished Life. So she started it up all over again, and it's called Clean Nectarine. And what I love is that she is like the gold standard when it comes to clean, low tox products because she will list some products of a brand but she won't list others. So like she'll list a shampoo, but she won't list their conditioner because it has a specific ingredient that's on her ban list. So, like she is next level when it comes to low tox products. So I like to go there. If I've seen something that I really like, I'll be like, oh, I'm just going to go to her website and see if she stocks it. Because if she stocks it, I know that it's going to be good
yeah.
because she does the research herself and she's got a big list of things that she just won't stock. Or she
Good.
will pull off the shelves if they change their ingredients and now it includes something that's on her ban list. So that is such a good research now because I'm just like I don't have the time to do all this research.
Yeah.
And ChatGPT I sometimes ask, but you also can't take that as gospel. It's
Yeah.
more of like a guideline. So yeah, and I think what would be really good is if we link all those brands that we mentioned in the
Yeah,
show.
absolutely. Yeah.
Including Clean Nectarine. Again, it's an Aussie owner and it's a woman, so we love
Yeah.
that.
Supporting the women. Love it.
Yeah.
All right. What a fun, informative chat.
Yes. I mean, we're both very passionate about this, and I've actually that I share this type of stuff on social media as well, all of like my swaps and like homemade things or things that I'm loving. Actually, I've started to create like a bit of a list on the link in my bio as well of like my favorites. Because then there's also appliances that we could go down the rabbit hole of as well, right? Like Teflon and non-stick things, which
Yeah.
just aren't great either for you. So yeah, the list goes on, but I guess we could tie us up into a little bow and be like, focus on what you put in your body and first, and then what you put on your body, and just simple swaps. So when you run out of something, just replace it with the better option. That's, I
Mm.
think, the easiest way to slowly transition so you don't get overwhelmed, and it's not going to cost you an arm and a leg to completely switch everything over all at the same time.
And just supporting brands that, like, it's been a big thing that I'm striving for now is just supporting brands that are supporting our health. Rather than companies who don't give a shit and they're like doing things for money and they're, you know, poisoning us and creating health issues and, you know, so I think that aligning things with your values and your goals and what you're trying to achieve and supporting products that are in alignment with that is just a good way to go.
Yeah, and I guess like you could look at in this sense as well that you vote where you put your money.
Yeah,
So not only are you looking after yourself and your family, but you're also doing good by supporting companies, as Rach said, supporting companies that actually care about you
yeah,
and the environment.
yes,
Um, and you're not putting money in the pockets of those big companies that just don't give a damn about us and just are greedy and yeah.
absolutely.
And I think that's just so like more important than ever right now is to vote with our dollars.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, that's a wrap, I think.
Yeah.
Until next time, thanks, guys.
See you later.
Bye.
Bye.